In a grand amphitheater of the Usteran Academy, a group of young alien students sat on sleek metallic benches, their large eyes fixed on the professor, who was preparing to explain one of the most highly debated topics in galactic history. The topic that day was the Earthlings, the humans as they were called. Their presence in the galaxy was known, but their involvement in galactic wars had been strictly prohibited. The students from a variety of species had long been taught that humans were inherently weak, primitive creatures, unable to match the technological prowess or the strategic brilliance of the more evolved races. Yet they couldn't help but wonder why such an apparently insignificant species was banned from the most prestigious and honorable aspect of galactic existence, war. Professor Zintha, a tall, graceful being from the crystalline planet of Korra, stood in front of the holographic display. With a wave of her hand, the display projected an image of a human, a young soldier, clad in armor, holding a weapon that looked far less advanced than those used by most galactic forces. A simple gun, it seemed, yet it was capable of more destruction than any of them could fathom. Today, we will uncover why humans have been banned from participating in galactic wars. Zintha began, her voice calm but full of weight. It is not because they lack strength or skill, nor is it because their technology is outdated. The students leaned forward in their seats, eager to learn more. Many of them had grown up hearing that humans were simply too frail, too primitive, and too unpredictable to be trusted with the power of galactic warfare. But this was a new perspective, and it piqued their curiosity. Zintha continued, her holographic display shifting to various historical accounts from across the galaxy. She showed scenes of battles fought by the Usterans, the Brelits, the Kaltorians, the great civilizations of the galaxy. Each race had its way of fighting, with sophisticated weapons, highly strategic minds, and immense powers. Humans, Zintha said, are different. They don't fight like us. The students exchanged confused glances. How could humans possibly be different in a way that would prevent them from fighting in the galaxy's great wars? Surely, they must have learned some form of combat. They don't fight for honor, nor do they fight for resources or power. Zintha continued. They fight for something far more dangerous, survival. When a human enters a battle, they don't simply aim to win. They aim to endure. They will stop at nothing to survive, and that makes them a threat. The holographic display shifted again, showing images of humans fighting in various wars on their home planet, Earth. It was chaotic, brutal, and at times, senseless. Human soldiers could be seen struggling, enduring pain, and pushing their bodies beyond their limits. They don't know when to stop. When other species would fall back, regroup, or surrender, humans will keep fighting, Zintha said, her voice almost tinged with disbelief. Even when they know they are outmatched, even when they know they have no hope of winning, humans will fight on. One of the students, a tall Brelith with shimmering green skin, raised a hand. But why is that so dangerous? Surely we have ways to deal with them. Their primitive weapons can't compare to our technology. Zintha smiled slightly, but it was a sad, knowing smile. It's not their weapons that make them dangerous. It's their resolve. A Brelith warrior might retreat when faced with overwhelming odds. A Kaltorian might calculate the risk of battle and choose a different path. But a human, they will never stop. They will fight, even if it means their own destruction. The students were silent. This was not the lesson they had expected. They had been taught to believe that galactic war was a matter of technology and strategy, but here they were learning something different. The strength of the humans didn't lie in their technology or their tactics. It lay in their unyielding determination to survive. Zintha turned to the display again, this time showing a human soldier standing in front of a ruined city. The soldier's armor was torn, his face bruised and bloodied, but he was still standing, still ready for more. He was alone now, surrounded by the wreckage of his comrades, yet he showed no sign of retreat. This is why humans are banned from war, Zintha said quietly. They would never stop, even if it meant the destruction of entire star systems. A single human soldier, given the right circumstances, could topple entire civilizations, not through superior technology, but through sheer willpower. That's what makes them dangerous. Another student, a young Kaltorian, spoke up. But how do they survive this? Their bodies aren't as resilient as ours. Their technology isn't as advanced. Xintha nodded. That is another reason why humans are so dangerous. Their resilience isn't in their bodies or technology, it's in their minds. The human will to survive is unmatched in the galaxy. It's not a physical strength, but a mental one. The human mind can endure far more than any of us can comprehend. It's not the weapons they carry, but the fire inside them that makes them unstoppable. The students were now in awe. They had never considered that the real strength of a species could lie in something as intangible as willpower. It was a concept that was hard to grasp, but they could see how it might be true. They had seen countless examples of human history where entire civilizations were brought to the brink of collapse, only to rebuild and fight again. Xintha let the weight of her words settle for a moment before continuing. Humans are not the strongest in terms of technology, but their refusal to give up, to fight to the bitter end, has made them legends across the galaxy. That is why they have been banned from participating in galactic war. If they were ever allowed to join the fight, the outcome would be unpredictable. Wars would be prolonged, battles would be dragged out, and the destruction would be unimaginable. A young Nastaran student who had been silently observing spoke up hesitantly, but surely there must be a way to control them, to stop them from fighting so relentlessly? Xintha shook her head. That is the real danger. You can't control a human's will. They fight because it's in their nature. And while that may be admirable in some ways, it makes them a force that cannot be easily contained. That's why they are kept out of galactic conflicts. Not because they lack strength, but because their strength comes from a place that no one can control. The students were silent, each lost in thought. The professor's lesson had taught them something they had never expected. The true power of humans was not in their technology, not in their armies, but in the heart of each individual human. It was their undying determination to survive, to fight, and to never surrender that made them a force to be reckoned with. As the lesson ended, the students slowly filed out of the amphitheater, each with a new understanding of humanity. They would never look at humans the same way again. The humans weren't weak. They weren't primitive. They were, perhaps, the most dangerous species in the galaxy, not because of what they had, but because of who they were, and in a way that made them the most powerful of all.